Hey, everybody. Welcome to the overview of the new features in the Pulse. Happy to be here with everybody today and talk about what is new on the roadmap right before Ignite. So next week, we'll probably get a whole slew of new things, a whole slew of announcements tomorrow. If you're not registered, you can still register to attend virtually starting tomorrow. So super, super excited about all of that coming. But Tom, why don't you kick us off and tell us what you are excited about in the in development category, which for those listening, that means what is being made back in Redmond, the secret sausage, the secret sauce, whatever they're going to do, they're making it and trying to make it happen. So, Tom, why don't you tell us what you're excited about?
Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and move down a little bit on the list here and leave something that I think Tamara might want to talk about.
Ooh,
And
it's
that
love.
is
It's love.
active self-preservation. Uh, Microsoft Teams remove items from your activity feed. So this is something that I have wanted to see for quite some time. That is, users will be able to remove items they no longer need from their activity feed, helping the user stay on top of their notifications. You've been able to do a switch to say, oh, do I want to not show unread or stuff like that? But you haven't been able to say, I don't want this on my list anymore. Boom, delete it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to have that opportunity, which is awesome in my book, especially if you use that as kind of a what do I need to work on next type thing. Due out December 2023, and it looks like it's coming to everybody. So everybody will see the love on that one.
I'm excited about that. Well, Tamara, I'll let you go next because Tom saved you a specific one. So let's see if you get the one that Tom was thinking about.
Ooh, I've got a couple.
Go for it.
So, and I know that's going to be the picture that shows up on the freeze frame page.
Yeah.
Something I found really interesting, Outlook estimating the cost of optical character recognition, or OCR, for Exchange Online, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive, and Endpoint. So with the OCR cost estimator, without incurring any bill and without providing Azure subscriptions, admins will be able to estimate how much they will pay once they turn on OCR configuration for the selected locations and scope. Now that's coming out for Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal in the worldwide tenant.
That explains it because I kept looking at this going,
What
is that? But now I see compliance portal. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's good. That way you know what you're going to pay before you click it on. So it's that's a good tool, I think, that they're releasing.
Yeah, and then Microsoft Teams collaborative notes and channel meetings. This is taking the place of the meeting notes, which were stupid. Collaborative notes will replace the wiki-based channel meeting notes. So collaborative notes and channel meetings allows attendees to co-create and collaborate on their meeting agenda, notes, action items. And since collaborative notes are a loop component, this is a delighter for Jen. Mm-hmm. It is always in sync regardless of how many places they live in. Now, assign tasks in collaborative notes automatically, this is a delighter to me, sync to do and planner. This is coming out in December of 2023 for the worldwide tenant.
It's just great that they use Loop. That was the thing that made me happy because ever since I've been introduced to Loop and I've been using Loop, I'm like, I want to use a Loop component. And then I'll go to where I want to place it. And I'm like, I can't place it here yet. So it kind of like, it irks me. But now when I saw that it was Loops, I was like, that makes the most sense. That way, wherever you go, the meeting notes are up to date.
Well, and I love the fact that they're finally moving these kind of features out to the channel meetings because, I tell people, use channel meetings. It's great. It'll record. Oh, but yeah, it doesn't have this feature and this feature and this feature and this feature. This was one of them. So I'm really glad to see that this one is now being moved into the channel area. So great.
Awesome.
What do you get, Jen?
Outlook, conditional formatting in the new Outlook for Windows and web. So it's a feature to make messages that meet condition, from my boss, from, my best friend, stand out in different and bright colors so they can specify the condition. So that's coming to the new Outlook on the web and Windows Outlook. So I think those are pretty exciting. And then another one is Microsoft Teams, new Teams meeting templates added to Outlook Teams add-ins. So if you're having a town hall, if you're having a virtual appointment, if you're having a webinar, different things like that, there's going to be templates that will automatically be configured there. I have no idea if these will be useful. It tends to be when Microsoft has to create a webinar template that is a webinar for the entire world. It's impossible. So they do the best that they can do, and it ends up being a template that really nobody likes. But a good example of what you could do. So I don't know how these templates will be, but they're coming. So yeah, that's what I have from there. How about you, Tom? We'll pass it back to you.
I'm good with moving on to rolling out.
Okay.
There
how
was
about you,
one other
Tamara?
one. Yeah, one other one that I wanted to point out, Microsoft Project, additional capabilities for Microsoft 365 users in Microsoft Project for the web. So currently, users with a Microsoft 365 license can view projects shared with them by users of Microsoft Project for the web. Now, this update will enable Microsoft 365 users to collaborate more seamlessly with project users by editing shared projects. This is big. The added capabilities enable Microsoft 365 users to access any functionality where Microsoft Planner and Microsoft Project for the web overlap. Note, though, that this feature is specific to projects that are created within the default environment, such as using project.microsoft.com. Now, this is rolling out December of 2023 to the worldwide tenant.
Oh, very cool.
That was the last one I had in development.
All right, Tom, you want to start us with rolling out?
Sure. There's a number of them, but I will just take one and then I will yield to my colleagues. So SharePoint out-of-the-box document library templates. You've always been able to do templates that are like list templates, but document libraries have kind of many times been just, yep, here you go, put your files in, have fun. Well, now they've actually done some document library templates. Says we're bringing the goodness of list templates to SharePoint document libraries. Creating document libraries will now be a breeze with our easy-made or ready-made templates with content, scenario relevant content structure, metadata, and content types, all to save you time and maintain broader consistency across your organization management. So this is something that there's something that was in the prior description, and that was like they told what the three templates were. One was just the standard one, which is what you're going to get if you do it now. I don't remember what the second one was, but the third one was a media template. So it's really geared for being able to put videos out there and stuff like that. It has the content types in place. So I think that's going to be really nice to give people a little bit more of a jump on where they want to be instead of having to do a roll their own every time they want to do it. So
I noticed this morning.
Oh, you saw it this morning in the wild?
Yeah, it's in our tenant.
I'll have to give that a look and see.
Because I was creating a document library, and we're talking about with the media kit and two other things that I don't even remember at this point, and I was like,
Right.
I think that's different. And then I just went about my business, and now I realize that's that feature rolling out.
I'll have to check on it then. It is due to roll out this month, so hey, there you go.
That's great. So with this one, this is Microsoft Teams workflow message extension. And so this is new actions for people to do workflows based on common activities inside of Teams. So Power Automate workflows, but now you can do more based on Teams extensions and more default actions. So that's always fun when you can do that. So that's one that's launching out that I think is great. So I'll pause and let Tamara go next.
Sure. Outlook MIP label support for events. So tenants who have set up MIP sensitivity labels for use on events will now have support in Outlook for Android to both read and write labels to their meetings with enforcement of rules such as encryption as defined by the tenant admins. That's supposed to be rolling out, well, now to the worldwide tenants. I like that. The other one that I thought was interesting is OneDrive add individual file shortcuts to OneDrive for the web. I thought we already had this. So maybe
can do
it's
it
just
too.
for the DoD.
It's
for everybody.
I think it has to do with individual file shortcuts. Right now I can do folders. Now this is letting you do like a specific just one file.
Okay. The other cool thing is that these file shortcuts can be moved, renamed, or deleted without impacting the source content. I'm so happy. And they will show up in OneDrive for web, Android, iOS, and the Sync client endpoints. That I am, as Jen would say, it's a delighter.
Ooh, then I'm going to follow up with, go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, I like the fact that, somebody can send you a file which is Bob's final edits, blah, 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 date, final. Why doesn't Bob know this is final? And you can sit there and say, the file I need as your shortcut. And so you get rid of all the weird naming conventions and you can just go with what makes sense to use. So that's a good one. And go with the one right underneath that, Jen, because I know that's where you're going next.
Yes, that's the other. So if you're delighted by that, I'm delighted by the fact that in OneDrive, we can now have access to Microsoft List, Power BI, Loop, whiteboard content, all in OneDrive. That's going to be wonderful because then guess what? It's my OneDrive to get everything. Boom. So there we go. I'm excited.
See what you did there.
I am excited about that one. So look at little old OneDrive coming out from the back saying, don't forget about me. So I'm excited about that one. That will make life a lot easier. Is there anything else in rolling out that you guys want to cover?
The other one that I'm excited about is for GCC High and DoD, and that's Teams Connect shared channels. So work seamlessly and securely with those inside and outside of your organization with Microsoft Teams shared channels. Multiple organizations can work together in a shared space, have conversations, schedule a meeting, share and co-author files. That's big. And collaborate on apps without switching tenants. I'm so happy.
Me too. This is a big one for
I don't get out much. This makes me real happy.
This is a big one for the world, though. I mean, the DoD works with more than the DoD. So now that the DoD can talk to more than the DoD, golden. So nice, safely, and securely. So I'm very excited about this. I know many people have been waiting for this set of features to come out. So that's exciting. That's really going to enable collaboration. So excited. Well, cool. Well, how about launch? Tom, do you want to tell us something exciting that's launched?
So I'm going to use the C word. I apologize. Copilot. Everything.
Well, just take us through the copilots that launched.
Everything is Copilot, all the time. So last week, I believe, or the week prior to that, we had like 5 or 6 different things that were Copilot. Well, hey, if you like those, you'll like these too. Whiteboard, Copilot in Whiteboard, Microsoft 365 apps, Copilot in Microsoft 365 Loop, and Copilot for M365 Chat. So basically, they are continuing to roll out the Copilot integration on all these things. They've got some of the bigger ones out there like Word and PowerPoint and stuff. Excel's still pending because that one is much more complex. But a lot of the things such as whiteboards, such as Loop components, they're going to get that Copilot-y interface that will allow it to start helping you along in directions if you don't know quite what you want to do and where you want to go with it. So those are good. This is coming out this month. Again, you do need to have a Copilot license. You need to have more than 300 seats, which has vexed a lot of individuals. But if you're
like one, please.
Yes, I would like one just to play with, please. But if you fit those criteria and you're paying the additional cost for it, Copilot will definitely make some changes that will benefit your organization greatly. So
Everybody just has to be patient. Copilot
yep.
will be coming, and it will be coming to everyone. It's just a
Eventually it'll
patience
get
thing.
there. Yeah.
It's just a patience thing.
I am like a toddler and I am free of patience.
Well, I'll remind you, just be patient. It's
She's
okay.
throwing
It will be
co-pilots out of her
coming.
pram. She's on Copilot back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything for you in launch, Tamara?
Microsoft Teams desktop web browser join experience for attendees in virtual appointments. So schedulers can enable the have attendees join from a web browser setting. So the attendees joining the virtual appointment on desktop will be routed to the team web browser experience. This allows attendees to have access to engagement features, including raise hand and live reactions.
Very cool. Very cool.
How about you, Miss Jen?
Nothing for me, so I'll take us to canceled. And this one doesn't even really need to get mentioned because it's canceled because it's a duplicate feature, which means it's just in there twice. And that's enabling people recognition in a Teams meeting with a desktop client face enrollment process. And so you'll be able to go into the client desktop. It will say, do you want to enroll your face? It will do all the face things it needs to enroll it. And then when you're in a meeting, it will say, hey, this is Jennifer. Well, it won't say this is Jennifer. It will say this is whoever you are. And so that's how that will work. So that's a duplicate. So they cleaned up the roadmap.
I so now want to go through a face registration process. I can just imagine what that would be like.
It's
like putting
it's
your
so
face on a
easy.
copier.
No, you must not. You don't have an Apple phone, do you?
No.
That's why a face recognition process takes about 20 seconds, and you look in your camera and they have you move your head side to side, up and down, and all around. It's
The
very
only
easy.
thing I don't like about that, that I miss my old phone when I could just use my thumbprint, is when I'm looking at my phone at night, I've got my CPAP machine on, it's dark, it's like, oh, I can't recognize who you are. You need to key in a code. You know, like, okay, that's fine. But then using my password manager, it's like, oh, I can't recognize your face. Please key in your password. It's like, no, I will
You
check the
can't
bank in the
record your
morning.
face. You can't just record your face with your CPAP on.
I could, but then with the fact it's dark, that would also come into play. So there's so many variations. It's just like at night, I probably shouldn't be having to worry about what my bank account looks like and stuff like that. So yeah,
Well,
my
You
life
need
is
to take
tough.
some doggy downers.
that is the show for today, everyone. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next week with hopefully some announcements from Ignite. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.